Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. It is another episode of Selling Sunset, Season 8, Episode 2 with my girl. Say hello to the people.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. I love doing shows with you. We have such a unique perspective on this stuff. And real interesting. I'm glad you turned me on to it because I was like, oh, there's something else to do. I like this show. Too bad we couldn't start way back in the day, huh? We could have got all that other juice that we were talking about with so-and-so. But I think it's a good group of characters. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly here for the house pea, as they say. Don't want to say that word right away, but
The what?
The house corn. You know how they say sky corn, house corn. Yeah, like
yeah.
Yes. I'm here for the beautiful homes, but the beautiful ladies are doing a decent job so far. They got some characters.
For sure. Especially when they got to argue about stupid stuff like wardrobe. When they all come in every episode, we looking at something that looks like something that we can't say on YouTube.
Arguing about no pants and a bare midriff. That's
girl.
Anyway.
We're going to get into it.
Yeah.
We're going to get right into it.
I jumped ahead. I'll settle down.
Now, when these guys start showing D prints, that's when we really going to get a show. What you know?
Let me see when somebody shows up to a house open, a broker's open in gray sweatpants.
And no drawers. Thin sweatpants.
Right. Swanging. When the twins, it won't matter. Okay. They can show up. They can show up in gray underpants. And
girl,
anyway,
that'd be something.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't.
But child, yeah. So episode 2.
Right. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to body shame those gentlemen.
Oh yeah, they all look great. Don't get me wrong. Everybody looks great. Everybody is BMI of 18 to 20, and it's it's all good. No, I'm just joking, but for real, it's about 18 to 20. I ain't gonna lie. But whatever works, it's all good. They look great.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, I have a little favorite myself. I really like the way this is gonna surprise you. I really like the way Mary dresses. It's something about her style that I like. It's really cute. I like it.
I appreciate the fact that Mary usually looks the least costumey out of them. Because sometimes I am like, y'all are trying too hard. Okay. It's, not everyone can be a Christine.
Maybe it's the age, the older you get, the more reserved and
I don't know, but there were some outfit choices this episode that were weird. And I'm not even talking about the no pants.
Well, let's get into it then. How about that?
Yeah.
So we start off with the Chriselle and Bree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bree is still on the brink of whether or not she's gonna come back. She had her tete-a-tete with Jason in that big, beautiful house in episode 1 that you love so much. Ooh, I love it too, child. All that entrance.
I like that house.
And ambiance and
nicely done.
Girl,
Yeah.
let me win this lottery. Oh,
I know.
that's the only way I'm gonna get it. But yeah, so Bree is at her house, and she is surprised because her and Bree convinced her to do the ice bath situation, y'all. How many times we gonna see this going on? I mean,
It's the new trend. It's the
monkey
new
see,
sound
monkey
bath.
do.
It's the new sound bath. It's the new sweat lodge. It's the new psychic reading. It's the new thing that they're going to do together to bond.
The new vaginal steam. Don't forget
right?
that.
Thank you. Oh my God. The yoni steam. God.
They went from steam to ice to frozen.
That's funny. That's fun. Well, you know, they got that thing all hot with the steam. They got to cool it down.
Okay. Hello. For real. And so they just reminiscing and going back and forth. Rochelle can only do 35 seconds. Bree been doing it for a while because, you know, she got a lot of stress going on in her life. We all know what that means, child. It is what it is. I ain't trying to get all in her business, but we all know who her baby daddy is. And
she's in the rotation.
Girl, in the rotation. But she said that's her family. And it is what it is. And that's why she can't stand Chelsea. They talking about, you know, Chelsea pretty much, and how Chelsea just offended her family by what she said about it being disgusting that he has so many children and making broken homes all over America. A lot of us agree to that. However, you know.
I don't think it's all over America. I think they're mostly in LA, but
I mean, you know, it's really none of your business, Chelsea. It's really not. Just, you know, I'm sure everybody on that show has commented about Bree's family situation or her son's siblings, okay? And all of how messed up and we all have said something negative that would be perceived as negative to them. So it was just a little what do you call it, déclassé to say that on you know on TV like that.
You don't have to announce the circus is in town. We know.
Hello.
I'm just saying. Live and let live. It's an alternative, you know, it's an alternative lifestyle that I would not choose to be in, but at the same time I can also understand why she would stand up for herself if someone called her disgusting. I mean, wouldn't anybody?
Right, because in essence you're calling my son a part of all this stuff, and he's a baby, he's innocent, and again, it's, you know, talk about it off camera, but I would not have put it on camera if I was Chelsea. She, you know, it's, to me, like I said before, it's that arrogance that comes from the pond.
Yeah.
That they can just say whatever and do whatever because of, you know, how they perceive themselves to be. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Any more comments about that?
Nope.
Let's do an ice bath.
If you want to, if we're going to go look at houses like they do, you can put me in a burning pit of fire and I'll try it out. You know, like, shoot, if I'm going to look like that in a bikini, then, you know, listen,
okay.
Stick me in the deep freezer and don't come back for a month.
Well, next on the list is Alanna, the new chick. She is looking for a job. She's looking for a house to sell. And so when we spoke about it before, episode 1, she plus Chelsea and Mary were vying for position for the Manhattan Beach House. But Alanna didn't get it. She was told, you know, they wanted someone with more experience who was Mary, and someone who knows the area a lot more who is Chelsea. So they kind of went with both of them. And as a consolation prize, ta-da, this is what Alanna got to be in charge of getting this house done that has been taking forever to finalize. So Child.
She's in charge of the foliage.
Okay, mainly, right?
Yeah, they said you need to get some landscapers in to make this house be appealing, because I can tell you right now, you and I both live close enough to this area that we know it enough to be able to say $8 million for a house that you have to put bushes up so you can't see in the master suite bathroom. Get out of here.
And the pool ain't even that big.
I'll go spend $8 million and not be in the Hollywood Hills, thanks. I'll go be like, you know what I mean? Like for $8 mil, the visibility and the busyness, get out of here.
You know, of course, California is hot commodity because it's the weather, of course, even right now it's 100 degrees during the day and it's, October. So, people love Southern California, a lot to do. Hollywood, of course, places to be, it's just a hot place to be, meaning, like, ooh, let's go over here. Something's going to happen, or, it's popular. But, I just never was a fan on living on top of, next to, where I can knock on somebody's window or get a little stick and say, hey, can I have some toilet tissue? I've never been a fan of that. That's why the house I got, you got to go outside and walk a little country mile to the next neighbor. Mm-hmm. I just never, like when I see some of the homes being built, it's like, that's just too doggone close. And, and that's not even Beverly Hills. It's just a new way of home development. Oh, I'm just not a fan. And then it's overpriced too. I'm sorry, 8, 9, 10 million for that.
The Hollywood Hills is not my favorite. You have to get really high up in the hills, but those streets are treacherous. There's nowhere to park.
Girl,
nowhere.
Say that again.
Yeah, and like this looks to me to be like in the lower Hollywood Hills where you're dealing with all the traffic, like they were showing on the street. Yeah, like I used to nanny for an actress that lived up in the Hollywood Hills, and so I personally used to have to drive up in there, and this is not where I would drop 8 million. I mean, I get the market is impacted, and this could be a great house for somebody that really, really, really needs to be in close to where like Paramount and where all the movie sets are and things like that. But if you've got 8 million to drop and you want to be in LA, that's not where I would do it.
Right. But
good luck, Alanna.
To her. Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
I said good luck, Alanna. I interrupted you. Said the same thing.
Oh, yeah, we were saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good luck, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so we come to another issue that Chelsea has with somebody else. Now, okay. We see her outfits because apparently there was a broker's open for that $30+ million house in Manhattan Beach that, her and Mary are trying to sell for the client, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently now, what's her name? Mary confronts Chelsea. Well, first Jason confronts Chelsea about it, where they were all mulling over it, Jason, Brett, and Mary, before Chelsea came into their space, right? Now, from what I remember, and I saw it a couple of times, Jason and Mary, not so much Brett, but Jason and Mary were discussing her outfits because Mary said, people are complaining. Now, the people that were complaining were their coworkers, if I'm not mistaken.
I was going to say, she said some people. I'm like, yeah, Bree and Alanna. That's who complained.
Now, of course, we know how production can be. What they cutting and pasting. They will provide a narrative. However, the way Jason made it seem before Chelsea came into their space to talk about the brokers open was that he wasn't going to say anything. He was going to leave it up to Mary, but somehow or another, he presented it to Chelsea first. And then that's when Mary stepped into the conversation and him and Hod and Pussy Pop about who told her what. But at the same time, Mary still holding on to that text message situation and not addressing it with Chelsea. So I think that may have had a little bit to do with how Mary handled it, trying to embarrass Chelsea when she has a little chip on her shoulder about that text message. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I think that Mary complained Chelsea showed up like an hour late with no pants on. And so, the part that I thought was really weird is the way that the twins were like, well, I don't feel comfortable talking to a woman about her outfit. Aren't you her boss? Like, what on earth? Like, as a boss, you're allowed to tell your employee, I appreciate your fashion, but you need to have at least shorts covering the curve of your butt. Like, you know what I mean? Where you're like, be cutting edge, be sexy, whatever sells the deal, but I'm still at a place where I'm looking at you. I don't need you to go this risque. And I don't understand why that, and then for the broker to then, for my agent to then say, I don't like you talking about what I'm commenting on my clothes. Bitch, I don't like you showing up naked. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly didn't really care because I found it really, really funny that Mary's complaining about Chelsea's outfit when she's wearing a crop top blazer. Like, your midriff is hanging out, and you don't like that she doesn't have pants on. You have half a jacket on. So the two of you need to get together and both get a full suit if that's really what you care about. You know what I mean?
For real.
Truly ironic. However, I'm a little bit on the fence about whether or not I agree that I think the only way I'd really honestly care is if a client says something or a prospect. Do you get what I mean? Like, if I felt like it could potentially affect the business, then I would be like, put some pants on. But otherwise, she's beautiful. Everybody loves to wear crazy outfits. The person I thought that looked super crazy was, I forgot her name, but that chick in the dripping sequins, like the jazz, with
Nicole.
the flapper dress. Nicole,
Mm-hmm.
What are you wearing? Like, you look like you
she's
need
going to an opera.
I mean, or you need to go to Dancing with the Stars. Like, this was so weird. The outfit choices, like, what are you doing?
I think we've all seen those shorts where it's below the cheeks but still short.
Yeah.
Those would have been perfect, but I agree. This was a little too short, just a tad bit too short. And I think it would have went over a lot better had they just come, maybe 3 inches lower.
I mean, I get the whole point was it's supposed to be risque, but like, and I will say this, I didn't see a coochie lip or a cheek. I didn't. So for them to say that she has that hanging out, well, I didn't actually see it. However, the suggestion of it being right there is a lot. It is. And if it were me and I were the boss, I would say, you gotta have a suggestion of a pant here, kid. I'm sorry. I'm not running I sell by whatever means necessary, including the body parts you're not covering up, because that's what you're inferring a little bit here with your outfit.
Now, this would have been perfect.
I mean, she's a stunning woman. Like, all of them are beautiful, but she is particularly, like, good Lord. You know what I mean?
And her legs are to die for. I ain't
She's a stunning, stunning woman. And I get she's kind of, it goes with her personality, all of these things, but like, I also, when you're at this level of a broker's open, I wouldn't take the risk that would rub anyone the wrong way. And I mean, literally, because you don't have pants on. So something might rub something, and then you have sexual harassment on your hands. So, however, another thing that Mary needs to do, it was kind of obvious where she's like, well, people have complained. Who? And she was like, who? And then she's like, well, I don't know. And then it was a very flimsy thing. I think the twins needed to just be like, it's not unreasonable for us to tell you to put pants on, or even little ones, like, we normally don't ever police you. So if we do say something, that is because it means that you've gone a little too far. And then end of story. But then they wouldn't have this awkward moment, right? So I think Mary was resentful at the way Chelsea approached it, and then I
Yeah.
think tried to use, like you said, and like Chelsea called her on, tried to embarrass her by, oh, you're trying to embarrass me in front of these two men. No, our boss is stupid. Like,
Yeah. I said what I said. I'm not running from it. I just don't like the him and Han by the owners and the manager, and you're supposed to have the authority. If anybody should be him and Han, it should have been Chelsea, but she was more assertive in her approach than they were, and they're the ones who are supposed to be making and enforcing the rules.
Absolutely.
So to me, they were kind of being, real bullshitty about it.
They were.
And either lying or just trying to make a problem for her. Because I think she kind of sensed it. That's why she was so, taken aback and just kept going on with it. Like, well, how can you try and embarrass me when things have been going on, blah, 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 blah. But I agree with you. Put on some pants, put on a skirt, be a lot more, conservative, I say conversion, girl, conservative in this atmosphere, and then, let a little more loose at the closing. How about that?
Right. Or if you have a client that would appreciate this outfit, wear it, but don't. But you know what? Honestly, if it were me, if I were Mary, I would have looked at her and said, where have you been for the last hour? You haven't helped me do this. Are we co-listing this? And if you're not going to be involved in this one, what group event thing are you going to do where you're going to show up on time and you're going to be the one in charge?
That would have been a better conversation.
Agreed.
Hold her accountable for what she should be doing and not what somebody else told you. Because if you thought it was an issue, Mary, you would have said that initially, not someone told me. Well, fuck what somebody told you. I don't blame Chelsea. Fuck what somebody told you.
Yeah. Do you have
a problem with it? You would have told me, not tell me what somebody else said.
Yeah. And so she's like, well, respectfully, people are talking. And it's like, Mary, like, stand your ground. Just be like, you're an hour late and you have no pants on. What is your plan for selling this house? Because does it include no pants? You know what I mean? No. The thing is, Mary goes to them and whines and complains and tries to get them to do her dirty work. But they are little mealy mouth, I'm sorry. And they have a problem being the authority, because it's asinine to me that as a boss, you would even shirk or balk at telling an employee that they're a little out of line in the dress code. It's the dumbest thing ever. Like, absolutely, your boss has every right to enforce, to be able to tell you this is a bit too far.
You know what's crazy? They can be damn near naked at the office, but when they go out in public, they have to be covered up.
Okay. That's why they felt like hypocrites. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why they were him and I.
Yeah, that's why they were like, I don't feel comfortable saying, because I encourage it, because we like her no pants. Yeah. Well, I think they love having this reputation of, these two little twins and they're playgirls. You know what I mean? These playboys, but they're like beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, they do. So this was one of those storylines that they struggled to execute. Yeah.
And remember when Alanna asked about the dress code, he said, no, you need to come in here looking like everybody else, pretty much. Remember when she asked about the dress code, about tennis shoes? He's like, no, you need to come in here looking like $1 million. Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the outfits that they wear in general, it's pretty funny that, they're actually commenting on the fact that she didn't have pants. But I will agree, though, the outfit was kind of cray. Like, the straight up no pants was like a move, but was it the right move for a broker's open in Manhattan Beach during the day? I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Did her being a beautiful pantsless person alienate any of those brokers that were there? Potentially maybe some women or, some gay, people that might have some, or even some men that might be threatened by that outfit, being like, I don't want to work with, WHORE, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Because sometimes people can get unreasonably, like, hostile or, prejudice, I guess, when they kind of feel like somebody's,
Yeah,
looking like a
I
certain way.
understand.
Sorry, I'm
I
tripping
don't,
over exactly how to say that properly, but you know what I mean.
I don't think so. I think it was, I don't think anyone who was coming to see the property had anything to say. It was
I don't
just her
either.
colleagues that were commenting on why are her shorts so short? I mean, I see this, I see that. Well, damn, you don't say nothing when they're at the office, but again,
Nope.
it's a, you're
Convenient.
supposed to be, looking a little more, conservative. So I agree, but it's just the certain comments that were a little offensive in my opinion. Like, oh my
Well, and
God.
plus, we know that Bree doesn't appreciate is not in the office because of Chelsea to begin with. So of course she's going to be the first person to look at her and say, "What is she wearing?" And I'm like, Bree, people would look at you and say, "Who is she dating?" So you can calm it down on the propriety area because you don't, just saying. And Alanna saying something about it. She's new and young and makes some dumb comment. That's fine, whatever. I think the cattiness was obvious there, because like to your point, I mean, like, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's like obviously people having issues with Chelsea, they were looking for an excuse to go after her
Right.
anyway, and she gave them one with no pants.
Well, I guess we'll see next episode. What else she not wearing?
Right? I was gonna say. Now we're gonna see who shows up with no shirt on next time.
Okay. See through, no bra.
I mean, just some hands over the boobs. Just some hands.
And I'm sure it's something out there that look just like it.
I mean.
But yeah, y'all, that was episode 2, season 8. That was as y'all can see, it was interesting. If you ain't watched it, it's on Netflix, y'all. Go ahead and just knock it out. Or if y'all want to listen to us tell you, that's fine too. But yeah, we are surely enjoying Selling Sunset season 8. This was episode 2. Any last thoughts, mamas?
Nope. I just enjoy the view.
And tell everybody where they can find you.
You can catch me on Instagram at psychic_ELB. Hit me up in the DMs if you would like to get a psychic reading. We do offer a discount to, aren't they the aunts and uncles? The RAERAES all day folks?
Yeah, aunts and unks. That's it.
Thank you. The aunts and unks can get a discount. You can also catch me on Alexander Rogers' channel, and RAERAES too makes an appearance. We go there to support Alex and the Biffas when we can.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Hopefully, we'll be covering Southern Charm here soon because I think I've seen some Craig's doing some interviews, some rumblings. I think we're getting ready for that to come out.
Good. All right, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.